John King here on behalf of Kingdom MMA, speaking with a man that's set to fight in exactly a month, Brad Pickett. Thanks for joining me, Brad. I know you're extremely busy at the moment. How are you feeling right now, just a month away from your fight?
I'm feeling good. I mean, coming out to American top teams, not new to me. I'm used to adapt very quickly over here, and also now to have a new facility is crazy out here. It's awesome. The training's got even better, So camp's going really well. I'm looking forward to it.
How big are the new facilities? How much better are they than the old facilities?
Well, if I put it in perspective, the old facility was around about 20,000 square feet. This is 40,000 square feet.
Wow, so pretty much double it.
Double the size of the last American top team, yeah.
So you're fighting Francisco Rivera. Originally, you were scheduled to fight Henry Briones, but he pulled out an injury. What have you changed any in your training? What's different about Francisco Rivera?
To be honest, I do the same thing every time. I never really train for an opponent as such, because with this sport, there's so many times, people get injured, and stuff like that. And even this opponent can change again by the time I fight. You never know. So I just train to make myself better all the time. Don't get me wrong. I look at things that they do, and with my sparring partners, I try and get someone who can mimulate the person I'm fighting more than anything. But as for training technique and stuff, I just try to get myself better all the time anyway. So, and my trainer hasn't trained too much because the other guy Henry was more of a striker as well, and this guy's more of a striker. But this guy's got Francisco's got a bit of a better name, so I think it's a better fight for the fans.
Yeah, and obviously you're a guy that always likes to stand and strike. So, as you said, you like to review your opponents and see what you're doing. Do you think, obviously, a lot of fighters mainly have a 2-month camp? Is a month, enough time for you to actually look at what Rivera does well and what you can exploit?
I could look at someone within a day and find out whether they're good or not good. I don't need a month to study a person. You need, obviously, if I was coming off the couch and I had a month to fight someone, it's more a case of getting myself in shape. But obviously, I've been training for weeks and weeks before now anyway, so I'm in shape and I'm ready to go. So, I've had opponents change on a week's notice, so it doesn't bother me.
So, as you mentioned, there's a new facility at an American top team and a new building, a new place. Is comparing this to your other camps at ATT, how much better has this been, simply because of the facilities?
Obviously, it's not always the facilities that mean anything, It's the people you're with as well, the coaching and all that sort of stuff. We have some great coaches here, Maya Brown, Dean Thomas, Conan. I put my standard coach, 40 Gloves. We have so many coaches here, and also it's not just the coaches, it's the training partners that I'm on the mat with on a daily basis. So there's a lot of high level talent here. So that's always going to be push you in training,
Yeah, and as you mentioned, training partners, you actually brought a few of your teammates from England out to ATT this time. Tell us why that was and how they've been faring so far.
Well, I have a very good connection over here, obviously, and for me, it made a big difference to my training. Not only is it good to train overseas, I guess, but before I used to do it because the standard was so much better. But now you actually have a lot of good, the training partners I brought over with me are great training partners back home. But sometimes it's just nice to go with different people, and also sometimes it's nice to just get away from your day-to-day life, and fight. Train away from your day-to-day distractions. So when you're here, all you do is thinking about eating, sleeping, and training. So it's all about you. So in a selfish way, it benefits you as a fighter so much.
Yeah. So currently, you're on a 3-fight losing streak with 2 decision losses and obviously your first knockout loss. How determined are you to get back in there and to prove that you're not done yet and you can still fight at this level?
Very much so. As in, in my eyes, I don't need to prove myself to anybody that I'm a fighter and that, but I think I need if anything, I want to prove to myself that I still have what it takes to compete at this level, you know, as in like, I believe I still do, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this, you know, but I'm not here just like to make up numbers. I want to do something within the sport, you know, and yeah. So for me, it's very important that I win in London in February.
So you're 37 now, and this would be, you know, maybe some fighters would have retired earlier, but you know, there's no doubt that you can still get in there and go a solid 3 rounds. And now you've also got your son to think about, of course. Is there any you know thing creeping into your mind where you know you think maybe if I win this fight I'll go out on a high, or if I lose I'll go out? Is there any chance, you know, due to your son and caring about him and anything like that, that this is your last fight?
If anything, because of my son, I won't want it to be my last fight, because obviously I want to, you know, keep food on the table. You know, sometimes it's like, okay, I have more than just myself and my wife to look after now. And I have my son, so it's like, why wouldn't I want to make myself unemployed? So, yeah, it's not easy to do that, but obviously, you know, I have to see how it goes, because like, you know, if I don't feel I can compete at this level, obviously, I don't feel like I have it in me to go, like, fight on local scene again or anything like that, you know. So, yeah. So I just have to see how I feel. I was saying I'm just gonna not look too far ahead and just, you know, take each fight as it comes.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, mentioning your son again, it must be a lot harder for you now, not only leaving your wife but your child as well. How hard is it for you to go over to Florida and to ATT while they're still at home?
Well, I knew this would be hard, because like last time I had like a little puppy, which has been the love of my life as well, my dog Bonnie. And I remember when I went to America last time, I missed my dog so much. So I really did know that I was going to miss my wife and my son a lot this time. So what I did, I made a conscious effort, because I'm out here for 6 weeks. So the first 2 weeks I've been out here, and then the second 2 weeks I've flown them out. So they're out here with me as well for 2 weeks, and then they're going to go home. Then I stay out here for 2 weeks. So it's just to split up the camp a little bit. And while they're here, it's like, because my wife's on maternity leave, she's just at home in England anyway. So if she's just at home not looking after the buddy, well, she might as well be here as well. I'm still training twice a day. You know, it hasn't interfered with my training at all. And luckily, I have a good child where he sleeps through the night. You know, so. It's not really, you know, affecting my sleep in that way. So it's just good just to know they're around, you know.
How much does it differ from training in the UK? Obviously, it's a fact that America has a lot more gyms, a lot more accommodations, and a lot better trainers than the UK does. But how much does it differ in terms of the food that you're eating, the places that you're going, and even weight cutting? Is it easier to cut weight in maybe, you know, a hotter country, a hotter place with, you know, better food and a better team?
Well, it's not a case of that. It's not because I've got a good team around me that helps me cut weight. It's at the end of the day, it's an individual thing, because they're not exactly monitoring everything that goes into my mouth.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, it's easier to switch on when I land in America into fight camp mode. So it's easy for me to switch on and just concentrate on my training, my diet, and that sort of stuff. Where in England is sometimes not even England, where you live in your home life, it's hard to go from 1 week doing or eating whatever you want, then the next week, oh shit, now I've got to, you know, cut this out, that out. I mean, it's a lot harder, where it's a lot easier mentally when I land in America to just completely switch on, and this is why I'm here. And also with America, where I'm staying at the moment in Florida, you have to drive to pretty much anywhere you go. It's like, so if I'm driving, I'm obviously going to make a more of a subconscious effort of going somewhere nice to eat than just like where in England you could come out the tube station and you're hungry and I'm just going to go into Greg's, or I'm just going to go grab this. You know, it's a lot easier to conveniently eat in England, where here you make more of a conscious effort to go get your stuff.
And obviously at ATT, there's 3 fighters that have recently been in the headlines for failing drug tests. With Gleison Tebow, Yoel Romero, and Hector Lombard. Has that, how much has that changed the mood in the camp, and how does that affect a camp?
Well, it hasn't affected me one bit, to be honest. Obviously, it affects the team. I mean, like the team name, like such, but it doesn't affect me personally as a fighter. They're not my training partners. I don't train with them like on the mat, so it's not as if I'm worried about that. Or it's like, it's not really something that affects me at all. And the mood in the camp's good, obviously, but obviously now people got USADA down there nearly every day. Checking people. They haven't checked me yet. I'm a little bit of, I don't know whether to be offended that I must think, oh, he's definitely on steroids or something. So I haven't been checked yet, but the USADA are here all the time now, so. Yeah, so it's good for the sport. It's going to clean it all up, and unfortunately, yes, those guys have made mistakes, but but that's them, not me.
Yeah. So just on the topic of USADA, just speak about them. How much of a difference has it made to the sport, and just what's your opinion on USADA?
Well, it's definitely cleaning up the sport a lot more. So I think it's on a whole, it's going to be good for the sport, But a little bit late in my career to affect me in my career. Because obviously, 100% I'll probably thought people have been taking performance enhancing drugs and stuff like that. But no, I don't know. For me, fighting's fighting. So I've never been one of those guys that's that bothered about that sort of stuff. Anyway,
So, away from your fighting career, I spoke to you at Rise Champions 1. And you said it's been mentioned on Twitter. You're looking to do a show in April. I think it's set for the 23rd. I'm not sure if that's set in stone yet.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So what are you looking for in that card? I can't remember where it was, but I heard an interview from you, and you said you wanted a few things changing that you weren't happy about. What are you looking to change at ROC2?
It's just more of the production sort of side of things. I mean, post production. Obviously, on the night, I thought the show ran pretty well, but when you watch it back on footage, the camera stuff wasn't as good as I'd like. So it's more the post production sort of things that I definitely get better. But as a promoter and doing a matchmaking, I couldn't complain about the fights. The fights that night were awesome. It was a really good night of fights, so I'm not complaining with that at all.
Yeah, super night for you as a fighter and as a promoter now. How hard is it for you? Obviously, you've got your fighting next month, and you've got a few months to think about as ROC. But is there anything going, in your mind now, thinking about the promotion, kind of putting you off from fighting, or let's say if you were fighting close to a show that you were about to put on, do you think that'd be troubling for you?
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing too many shows while I'm still active. So I've only got 2 shows booked this year, so at the moment, first and foremost, I'm a professional fighter in the UFC, and that's my job. So that's what I'll be doing first and foremost, and then after that is, So it's not. Don't get me wrong. In the back of my mind, I'm putting kind of like feelers out there, letting people know about the date. Start really kind of speaking to the coaches and say, look, I've got a fight here. I'm going to need some fighters, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. But I haven't done anything in set in stone yet.
So how hard is it, for you to actually not only find fighters but persuade them to fight, pay them and actually put the show together? How long does that take from start to finish?
It takes a long time. It's actually a lot of work, to be honest. It's not that easy, Obviously, I'm not just the face to the brand. I do a lot of work. Matchmaking is, I have to say, one of the toughest jobs, So you always get people pulling out. I'm always trying to that sort of stuff, So So for me, I try and work with good gyms, good coaches, and stuff like that. And if you do that, one, you're gonna get good fights, and 2, you're gonna get people who train more seriously and better towards fights. So you're less likely to get someone pulling out. If you work with independent fighters, you probably more likely to get pullouts.
Yeah, last time Rise of Champions won, it was in the City Pavilion in London. Is there going to be any change to that? The venue or the place of the second show yet?
It'd be exactly the same venue, same place.
So, obviously last time it was as you mentioned, it was a stacked card from top to bottom, a lot of amateur fights and a few professional fights, and everybody delivered. Is there any fighters that, you've already contacted about getting on, or any fighters you want to be on that show?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've penciled a few names in, people from that card that are good and stuff like that. And also people have messaged me that they want to get back on the card. So, yeah, so as long as I can get people matched up, because obviously it takes two to tango, there's a lot of the guys I was impressed with on that card that I'd like to get back on.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fantastic card, a fantastic night for you and for MMA fans all around the world. Brad, you step into the octagon for the 11th time on the 27th of February against Francisco Rivera. Thanks for joining me. I know you're extremely busy at the moment, and best of luck on the night.
Thank you, John.